over to Liverpool. Nielsen reported that Liverpool were the most watched Premier League club last season with an audience of 471 million. Could this help boost the club's commercial revenue?
Well, I was trying to sort of dissect and understand that number and where it all came from. And my first thought was, well, they probably will be because they're probably on TV in certain channels more than a lot of other clubs. Certainly an international. I know that the Liverpool games are at a certain time and they're planned in some ways to be the key factor sort of in terms of people watching. So it may not be a fair assessment to say they're the most watched when you're really trying to compare that with other clubs in the Premier League. If everybody had the same exposure at the same times equally, then it might be a fair measure to look at. Of course, it depends on the platforms, though, that they're counting. If it's Liverpool TV and that's growing, apparently, then great. They will make money out of that. Of course, for sponsors, the number of eyeballs that are seeing the sponsorships and the logos, etc., of course, are very important. So it will be something that I'm sure the Liverpool commercial team will be all over and saying to potential sponsors, look, we are the most watched team, get on board with us. So they should make money out of it. They should make money out of the extra viewership in terms of the broadcasting rights. But as I say, in terms of, to me, it's a bit of a misleading headline in terms of actually a true comparison with other clubs and how they're watched. But nevertheless, if I was at Liverpool as CEO, I would be making sure my commercial team had this front and centre and made sure everybody knew it and that we were the hottest property in terms of viewership, which is, in the end, eyeballs is what it's all about.
For sure. And, we talk about upping their commercial revenue, but we're looking at Liverpool now with a few days to the window, and the only signing that's come in this year is one for the future, Mamardashvili, who will be going back on loan to La Liga. Can we expect some signings in the coming days? I mean, I know I've asked you this every week for a month, and you said you're not going to get worried till last week, but here we are another week later.
Yeah, well, you're right. Now, if I was a Liverpool fan, I would be concerned. I think there'll be two will come in. From my sources are telling me there'll be two players definitely coming in. I don't know whether they've been able to resurrect the one from Real Sociedad, possibly. But yes, I believe there'll be two. And I'm still waiting to see if the penny drops in terms of any activity with the Saudi Premier League, because that 72-hour window is after the ending of the Premier League window. So there's still a chance for some of those to go. Although Alisson has come out pretty strongly this week saying he isn't going to go to the Saudi League, although it was very close, and he still said he's very tempted by the commercial opportunity, but at this moment he hasn't decided to go. So in the end, yes, I think there'll be two incomers for Liverpool. They've had a great start to the season. Arne Slot has played some nice football. The fans are really on board. Everybody's happy with what's going on, so there's no real fan revolution going on about needing more signings. I think the Liverpool ship's a pretty happy one at the moment. So I think two more bodies, and I think everybody will be happy going forward.
And can we get any inkling on those two bodies, what area of the pitch they might be coming in and who they might be?
It's difficult to say. As I say, I think a lot will be if something drops with the Saudi situation, if a Mo Salah does finally go. And if it is going to be a blockbuster move like that, it will have been one of the best kept secrets in football that I've seen for a while. But I still think there's something there. And Van Dijk as well, I still don't know where that is. And Trent, we've still got to look at those. So I think any incomings will be dictated by the outgoings. And so we'll see how those situations resolve themselves.
For sure. And you mentioned Trent, and I think we all saw on the weekend him and Arne Slot seemed to kind of get into a disagreement when he came off the pitch. Is this kind of what we're starting to see the end of Trent Alexander-Arnold at Liverpool? Obviously, that new contract has yet to be signed in just this final year going on.
Yeah, well, it does seem that way. I mean, all the signs, as you say, the body language, the whole thing, the rumours have all been there. Look, it's a difficult one. I thought something would have happened by now if it was going to happen. Always these rumours of Trent down to Real Madrid were pretty strong, and I could understand that. But, hey, here we are, 3 more days, and will it happen, will it not happen? It doesn't seem happy, that's for sure, at Liverpool right now. So either something's happened and it's been turned down, or there's a negotiation going on. I'm afraid I've got no inside track on that, but it does seem as though something has to resolve itself.
For sure. And can we potentially contribute any or attribute any of the lack of signings to the fact that Liverpool might be losing so many stars for free this next summer? Is there a reason that maybe with no incoming money they can't spend any money, or this is just a matter of new regime and just figuring out the right players?
No, I think you're right. There is something to that. That if they're going to be not taking in the money from sales, they've got to now measure it in terms of what they can do, and perhaps and not having any outgoings in terms of transfer fees. This window will mean that they'll have to save up and stock up for next year, and they can manage to get through this season. So I think we discussed it before that there is a logic in a way to this sort of approach from keeping a stable squad. Certainly, as I say, that the style of Liverpool's football and the way they've won the first two games shows that things are pretty stable. That Slot's got the squad with him. He's and they're backing him. They seem to like him. The fans like him. So there is a logic to actually keeping that stable squad and then buying next summer rather than this summer and trying to bring through some of the youngsters at the same time.